So if you take a look, we're going to take a look at a biography. This is the only thing that I have not given you yet. Everything else, I have given you articles to read. I've told you exactly what you should be looking for. This is the only time that I'm sort of setting you loose and saying, okay, you need to take notes. Okay, so first of all, you need to find a source that is a biography about F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it needs to be from the Gale database. Okay, so you need to have at least 7 notes about this. So first you need to click this little link here. It will take you to the Gale database. So if you haven't already done so, please click the link. And the best way for you to find a biography is for you to look under the biography in context, which I'm already logged in and everything. You just click right here. Okay, biography in context. And now I'm already logged in because it knows me because I haven't logged out yet. For you, you will type in MHS Giants, no spaces, right there. MHS Giants, no spaces, no caps. This is your password. All right, we're on the note-taking practice. Yep, that right there. Okay, we're on the second page. Okay. Now, what you're going to do, you should all have logged in by now. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to up here under search, we're going to search for F. Scott Fitzgerald. Okay. And if it pops up with this screen, that's fine. You just pick the first one. Okay. For now, Cortavia, yep, first one. Pick the first one, Cortavius. There you go. All right, now notice there are several biographies. MHS Giants, no caps, no spaces. All right, notice here we have a bunch of biographies, 11 to be specific. Okay, you click on there. And all of these, except for I think the last 2, yeah, ignore the last 2. All right, all these are about F. Scott Fitzgerald. It is up to you about which one you want to use. I'm going to choose this first one because I honestly really like this one. And all you've got to do is, first of all, if you'll notice, there's some tools you can use. First of all, notice I've got citation tools right here. Okay, all you've got to do is you have to copy and paste this. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't work with all of it. Let's see if it'll do it. Copy and paste this right here. Okay. Oh, yeah, it worked that time. Yay. All right. Whichever one you want. All right. I'm just showing you an example right now. Okay. You can choose whichever biography you want. I'm just showing you an example. So you will then paste your MLA citation right here. So it should look like this. Okay. If you don't want to do it right now, if you just want to watch, that's fine. Okay. Now, there's another thing that I can do. If I want to download this, honestly, it's kind of difficult to go back and forth between the Gale database and finding it again. So what I would suggest you do, click download and download it to the Google Drive, save to the Google Drive. Okay, you'll click download. And now I'm not going to because I've already done it. Then you go back here to your Google Drive. All right, you open up your Google Drive and you'll notice then after you download it, there's actually a little red folder. Okay, it downloads it in red so that you know that it's from the Gale database. You click on it, and now I have a hard copy of it, so I don't have to go back and forth between the Gale database. I now have it in my Google Drive. I really like that. I think it's super helpful. And also then you can mark this up if you want. Or you can mark up the Gale database thing, but honestly, I don't think it works as well. Okay, so let's say I've done all that. I've got my MLA citation. Now I'm going to read it. I'm going to take some notes on it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what this will look like. I'm going to read the first paragraph of this. Perhaps because so much of his writing was autobiographical, F. Scott Fitzgerald is famous for his personal life as he is for his writing. Now, first thing stands out to me, autobiographical I know means that he's writing about his own life. So under my notes, I'm going to just make a quick summary. Okay, and I'm going to say Fitzgerald wrote a lot about his own life, okay, or his writing influenced, his life influenced his stories. Okay, now that's not a direct quote, that's just a summary. So here on the second column, I would write, this is a summary, okay? Because I'm asking you specifically if it's a direct quote or summary. That's so that later you don't accidentally plagiarize, okay? And in this case, I do not have a page number, so I put a little dash so I remember that I don't have a page number, but you don't need to put anything there, it's fine. All right? Then I'm going to keep reading, all right? In his career as a writer, he proved to be gifted in a number of forms. He excelled as a novelist, as a short story writer, and an essayist. Because his personal and professional histories paralleled the times in which he lived and wrote, Fitzgerald will forever be identified with the Jazz Age in the 1920s and the ensuing Great Depression of the 1930s. Now, to me, this quote is super important because this is essentially why we're writing this essay in the first place. We're writing about how F. Scott Fitzgerald's life and his times, influenced his stories, influenced specifically The Great Gatsby. So I'm going to highlight that one, okay? I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right here because I really like that quote. I think it will be useful later, so I post it right here. Now, two things you want to do. First of all, you want to put it in quotation marks to remember, hey, this is a quote. But to sort of make certain that you remember that, you even write here, direct quote. Okay? To remind yourself, hey, this is a direct quote. These are not my own words. I need to cite this. And again, there's no page number. Yes? When you write in the essay, yes. If this were actually the essay, then I would do this where I put end quote, parenthesis, and in this case, the article is called F. Scott Fitzgerald. Gerald. Okay, end quote, period, because there's no author. All right? So that's what that would look like. All right, very good. Thank you for saying that. You don't have to do the parenthetical citation here. That's just me showing what it will eventually look like on the essay. Okay? So this is what I need you to do. My suggestion when you're taking your notes today, I would suggest that you look for materials that will be helpful in your essay. Don't just pick like, oh, this was the year that he was born. That's not very helpful. But if you notice, he did go to college, like Gatsby, so you could maybe put something about that. You could also mark something about how he also met a young lady, whose name was Zelda in this case, when he was training to go off for World War I. Those were very, very similar. You might want to take a note about that. Especially when you see similarities between Gatsby and Fitzgerald, especially when you see similarities between Nick and Fitzgerald. Take some notes about his life. Now, and I made a little note here, because Fitzgerald wrote the novel in 1925, I suggest that you focus on his life before then, because we're talking about how his life influenced his story, okay? So like, for example, in this particular article, okay, it talks about college and the military, yada, 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 success in the Jazz Age. And then when you get down here to the Depression years, it says, after being labeled the voice of the generation and experiencing fame and notoriety as someone whose life was in respect to the Jazz Age, Fitzgerald, blah, 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 blah. And it like talks about in the 30s, okay, and how, what happened to him after he published The Great Gatsby. You can read that, but I suggest you focus more on here where it describes what influenced The Great Gatsby the years before 1925. Yep, he had a crazy, crazy life. All right, so that's what I'm expecting from you. Please have the 7 notes into me by the end of the period. All you have to do is read this one article, take 7 notes. If you get done early, then go ahead and I would suggest that you start working on your second source. Pick maybe Flappers or World War or modernism or whatever, okay? That would be my suggestion, okay? Are there any questions? All right. Make certain that you turn in, I'll address your question in a second, hold on. Make certain that you turn in your note-taking right here to the checkpoint first. This is just for me to see that you're taking notes correctly, okay? And it's for a few easy points. All right? I'll take questions now, hold on.